We begin with the escalating war in Ukraine. Russian and Ukrainian delegates are meeting via video link to resume their fourth round of negotiations.
Meanwhile, the battle on the ground is intensifying across several cities, including Kyiv. The capital saw one of the heaviest bombardments since Russia's invasion began. Officials say more residential areas were hit with deadly results. CBS News' Skyler Henry has more.
Smoke pours from buildings in the Ukrainian city of Mariupol as Russia's bombardment continues. Russian and Ukrainian tanks are battling each other on the ground as the two forces fight for control.
Just look at how little progress the Russians have been able to make. A lot of it is due to the Ukrainian resistance and how adaptive they are proving to be on the field and, frankly, in the street.
For 2 weeks now, Russia has encircled the city. There's no way in or out for people, food, or supplies.
People are running out of water, electricity, gas for heating, access to medical services. The situation is really untenable, unbearable for civilians.
The shelling in the capital city of Kyiv picked up overnight as well. Russian forces hit another large apartment building in the attack. Ukrainian officials say at least 2 civilians were killed. But that isn't stopping the leaders of Poland, the Czech Republic, and Slovenia from making the dangerous crossing into Ukraine for a face-to-face meeting with President Volodymyr Zelensky. President Biden is considering taking a trip to Europe to meet with allies to talk about how they can continue to support Ukraine in its fight for freedom.
What we need is the supply of any type of weapons that we can receive.
Ukrainian President Zelensky will make a direct appeal to Congress for more support from the U.S. tomorrow when he speaks via video conference to House and Senate members.
We need to help get air defense systems to Ukraine without wasting another second.
And Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin is on his way to Belgium for meetings with NATO partners. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
We have team coverage of the war in Ukraine. Christina Ruffini is in Poland near the Ukraine border following the refugee crisis.
But let's go to Imtiaz Tyab, who joins us from Lviv, Ukraine. Imtiaz, we saw heavy shelling in Kyiv overnight. Still, leaders from Poland, the Czech Republic, and Slovenia are visiting the capital. Break it all down for us. Why are they there?
This is extraordinary. I mean, to see the prime ministers of 3 European countries travel by train to Kyiv, a city that is under siege effectively, to meet with the leader of this country, Ukraine, is just absolutely extraordinary. It is perhaps one of the most significant shows of solidarity that I've really seen in my career, having covered quite a few conflicts, it has to be said. And it really is just astonishing to see just the kind of support Volodymyr Zelensky is receiving face to face. But they're not just going there to show solidarity. They're coming there with really tangible things as well. They've promised an economic package, and they're also promising intense diplomacy as well. All of this at a time, of course, in which so many parts of this country is just under extraordinary bombardment by Russian forces. But again, Europe saying very clearly that we are here to support Ukraine in any which way we can.
All right, let's move to the talks and the latest there. Now, we know that we have officials from both countries, Russia and Ukraine. They're supposed to hold yet another round of talks. So can you bring us up to date? What more do we know about that?
You know, it's so interesting, Jim, sort of looking at these talks between these two countries, which are essentially at war, and you look at this sort of the violence that we're seeing out there, but the diplomacy continues, and we really need to hold on to this diplomacy to hopefully see the end of this violence. Now, when we heard from the President Volodymyr Zelensky last night about the talks, he said in a sort of traditional sort of folksy style that they were going pretty good. The Russians saying that significant progress had been made, and this is the first time we've heard either side suggest any of that. The gulf between the two sides just seems so big. But to really give you a sense of what the Russians' demands are, well, they've made them pretty clear. They want to ensure that the Ukraine enshrines by law that it will never join NATO. It also wants the Ukrainian government to recognize Russia's annexation of Crimea, and it also wants the Ukrainian government to recognize the so-called independent republics of Donetsk and Luhansk. Now, For the Ukrainians, they've said they will not accept any ultimatums, and more importantly, they will not surrender. But the talks are continuing, and some are suggesting that what the Ukrainians may suggest or may agree to is not joining NATO. They may agree to that if only they will get some kind of security guarantee. Now, that could be a security guarantee from the U.S., it could be a security guarantee from the EU, but without any kind of guarantee, these talks really are just going to remain talks, and we're not going to see the kind of fighting that we've been seeing for now 20 days come to an end.
Imtiaz Tyab on the ground for us in Lviv. Thank you.